Good afternoon, everybody. So I am Aklavya Sharan, representing Desi Power. So we are a company, actually technology-driven company, provide solutions through renewable energy and energy services in the villages to create jobs, which Dr. Sharan has elaborated more, so I'm not going into much detail. I just want to, this is a typical example of the work what we have been doing is a village level integration. So one side is the agriculture, electricity, which is needed for lighting and of course micro enterprises. Then energy plantation and agro residues also one of the major part because we have also focused on bio-based solutions. And third is also cow dung, another thing using biogas as one of the technology. This is one of the example of our project which we have done at a village called Chakai in Araria district. This is totally linked with micro enterprises based solutions. So at one location we have microgrid, and when we talk about a microgrid, it is a hybrid. So biomass and solar PV and also battery bank based generation solution, and which is linked with the different types of micro enterprises, which is a pelletizing machine, then cattle feed, drinking water, irrigation water, then we have food processing unit and so. This shows how these connections we have taken from the plant. As Dr. Sharan spoke about the need and usefulness of dynamic modeling tool. So we have over the years we also have learned that how a modeling tool is necessary for this village this complex village kind of projects. Our solution is basically driven out of load management. So first is the important that we create load or see that what kind of load can be served by the DRE solution. The center you can see there are different type of technological options, which is in particular project based on the geography we can select the most suitable technologies. And the third and last side you can see this is the smart system management unit, which can ultimately deliver the most possible manage the generator and storage and lowest cost of generation and capex and opex both it can deliver. So based on this modeling, we have now developed a project which is based on biogas and solar PV as and storage, battery storage as a generation side, and right side you can see there are different type of loads. So these loads primarily based on that particular location where we are going to work. So this kind of load we have selected, which will be used in that particular project, and the generator has to meet requirement of different loads, which will be operational during the day and night. So this is how this is a scheme how we will be developing, and yeah. So I will just talk about the some numbers and the project what exactly is aim to do. So as I mentioned, that first is the important factor for us is the load. What is the demand available in the particular village, or what kind of demand we can create. So we have listed out different types of enterprises, which is exactly linked with that particular village. That what are the things can be developed, which is, where we can develop entrepreneurs in the village. So it can also help in developing, generating new jobs. And where this biogas plant which we have selected is also due to the reason that is linked with a dairy. So there is a existing dairy in the village where we are linking this biogas plant and hybridizing with solar PV and storage. And here storage we are keeping to a minimum level possible, because this generator, the biogas generator, can run during the evening, during the time when solar PV is not available, and keeping a minimum storage where we can at least meet critical loads at any time, any given time. So in this context, what we have done is a 40 kilowatt is the requirement we have identified from the micro enterprises, and we have now taken a one shift operation, 8 hours per day. So it can, that requirement of the units from these units are around 84,000 kilowatt hour annually. Then see what, then we have configured based on the load, when we have the load, identified load, then we have configured the system. So what we have looked at, a biogas plant based on the dairy. So what we have done, there is 100 cows. So based on this number of cows, and we are also planning to add Napier grass into it. So a system size is around 205 meter cube what we have selected. So that means we can generate around 200 units of kilowatt hour from this generator. And then when we have this number of units from the biogas plant, then the left side, then we have taken what is the PV size is then needed to meet this number of units. So you can see in the left side, the 95,364 units, these two combination can generate annually, and our requirement is 84,000 during the year. So there, so that at least it can meet at any given time. So here is a typical number which we have worked out on that particular project. Then approx 1 crore investment is needed. So when we talk about investment, so it's not only on the generation, that is the microgrids, but we are talking about major part is also coming from micro enterprises. And we have, is a fact that without training and capacity building, these things will not be successful. So we have to add a component, training center, and a kind of infrastructure which is needed. So with this combination, 1 crore investment is needed. But if you look at the right side, with this investment, project is still viable. If you are able to meet these many units for these many types of enterprises. So IRR can go up to 15% based on 15 rupees per kilowatt hour of electricity sale. If you can see, actually LCOE is 17 rupees 80 paisa, but we are selling at a lesser price because we are taking advantage of the manure, which is coming out as a byproduct of biogas plant and waste heat from the gas engine for the application which is required for the different, in the dairy also, and also for the agriculture applications. So this is how the combination can deliver around 15%, 16% IRR. MEs, that is the micro enterprises. So if this investment, taking into consideration of repayment of loan and also ROE, it can come to a range of 8 to 10%, even can be higher if we can increase number of hours gradually. So this is the number which we have worked out and which believe that this type of combination, this kind of integrated project can be a sustainable project. And impacts are certainly, there are, it creates direct number of jobs, which is in the micro enterprises, in the power plant, and many number of indirect jobs where farmers are really benefited. So these are we also have our own experience working in these projects from over the years. Then CO2 savings is not only in the power plant, but also if dairy we are utilizing the cow dung, so that methane there. Then fertilizer, this manure which is from the biogas, that can save a lot of amount of carbon saving from the agri field. And we believe that if we are able to use this organic fertilizer, then soil improvement in farm produce, and ultimately aim is to increase income of the farmers. So overall, a development in a village is possible through this combination. And we have also identified, I also have been hearing, type of why DRE is not scaling the way it should have been. So we also have identified the influencing factors, like what are the things needed. So finance is certainly, we know one side, for raising finance for microgrid only is possible today. People are doing it. It is, I don't think that will be a big challenge. But when we are talking about the integrated project where micro enterprises is the major part in our project, then finance for that is must. Without that, we think that, then the project success will not be, we can't achieve the success we are talking about. So that means finance needed for both the side. Then, one of the aspects which Dr. Sharan also had highlighted, that data, which site data, if it is there, then a replication plan preparation also can be easy. If we have a data, we can do that. We can, number of commercial pilots also can come up. So we also feel that site data is very important. Optimized system, so which, as I talked about, dynamic modeling tool, so that we believe it will help us to optimize the system, to be able to reduce the capex one side, and also help in the lesser, optimum LCOE. When we talk about the micro enterprises, different types of micro enterprises are there. So that means the produce from the micro enterprises have to be linked with the market linkages. So if you are able to get a proper market linkages and a good rate, then viability and profitability of micro enterprises improves.
Kunal, sorry to interject, but you will have to wind up
Just
now.
this is the last slide. And soft financing in terms of CO2, I have not factored CO2 into my calculation. CSR and patient investors, because if there is a training component and capacity building components are there, so that should be financed by soft money, not by the hard financing. And linkages with grid, which is the something which ultimately should be the aim. So regulatory framework is very much required. A policy intervention from the government, what will be needed here. So yeah, so this is where I think I'll stop. And this is I had elaborated here. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Aklavya, for a wonderful session.